Okay, Wildcats, today we're looking at journal page 31, factor, sum, and difference of cubes. Sum of two cubes. A cubed plus B cubed equals parentheses A plus B, parentheses A squared minus AB plus B squared. Difference of two cubes is A cubed minus B cubed equals parentheses A minus B, parentheses A squared plus AB plus B squared. All right, if you would update your notes. All right, now your notes are updated. Let's take a look at the examples. All right. Journal page 31, factor, sum, and difference of cubes. Example 1, factor the polynomial by grouping. Okay, so when there's four terms, you can factor by grouping. Okay, so we can factor out, it looks like a 216 x cubed from these. So that's 216 x cubed, which leaves 1x plus 1. Now here we can factor out a 125 from both terms, so it's plus 125, which leaves 1x plus 1. Now we group these together because these are the same. So that's 216 x cubed plus 125 times x plus 1. Okay. Now, this says factor by grouping, and it is, but it also includes a sum of cubed. Okay. You see the cube, there's a sum, so we need to find the A and B value so we can factor using this form right here. Okay. So what this is going to become is A plus B parentheses A squared minus AB plus B squared times x plus 1. Okay. So we need to now find out what A and B are. So A is what number cubed do you give you 216 x cubed, and what number cubed gives you 125? So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to use Desmos, and I'm actually going to use the scientific calculator. And so what we're going to do, need this, is so we're going to do 1. That button gives us the cubed. Press enter. That's not 216, so let's do 2 cubed. We're going to keep going till we get 216. So now let's try 4 cubed. Getting closer, so let's try 5 cubed. It's 125, so we're going to, that's our B value. Okay, so now let's try 6 cubed. Is, aha, so now we have our A and our B. So A is 6x and B equals 5. So now we're going to plug these into here. So that's 6x plus 5 parentheses 6x squared minus 6x times 5 plus 5 squared times, we can't forget about the x plus 1. Okay. So now this is 6x plus 5 times 6x squared is 36x squared minus 6x times 5 is 30x plus 25 times x plus 1. Now, if this is the correct factored form of this, then when we graph this and this, they'll overlap. So let's do that now. So I'm going to go to Desmos. I'm going to open another tab so I have the graphing calculator. All right, so let's start by graphing 216x to the 4th plus 216x cubed plus 125x plus 125. All right, and if we graphed it correct, if we factor correctly, then we graph 6x plus 5 times 36x x squared minus 30x plus 25 times, times x plus 1, they overlap. And you see that they do. So this is a correct factorization of this. Okay? All right, go ahead and finish up example 1. All right, now let's take a look at example 2. Okay, factor the polynomial by grouping. And we can because there's 4 terms. So we're going to think, what can we factor from each of these terms? Okay. And what can we factor from here? Okay. So we can factor 64 from each of these terms. And actually also an x cubed. So 64x cubed, which leaves 1x plus 3. Okay, and then we can factor out a 27 from both of these terms. So minus 27, which leaves x plus, see, 27, I believe 3. Okay, now these are the same, so we can factor by grouping and we can group them together. So now that's 64 x cubed minus 27 times x plus 3. All right, now this is a difference of cubes, so we're going to use this form right here. So a minus b times that. Okay, so we know that this is going to factor to be a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared times x plus 3. So now we need to find out what cube gives us 64, what gives us 27. So we need to find a and we need to find b. So let me go back to Desmos. And we actually have here. So we know that 4 cubed gives us 64. And it looks like, oh, you know what? I forgot. I did 1 cubed, 2 cubed. I didn't do 3 cubed. So let me come down here. 3 cubed is 27. So we know that A is 4 and B is 3. Okay, so A is 4x and B is 3. Okay, so now we're going to plug these into here. So that's 4x minus 3 times 4x squared plus 4x times 3 plus 3 squared times x plus 3. Okay, so then that's 4x minus 3. 4x squared is 16x squared. 4x times 3 is plus 12x. And then plus 9 times x plus 3. Now, if we factored this correctly, then we graph this and this to overlap. So let's do that now. All right. So then 64x to the fourth plus 192x cubed minus 27x minus 81. All right, and if we factor this correctly, when we graph 4x minus 3 times 16x squared plus 12x plus 9 times x plus 3, they'll overlap. They do, they overlap, so that this is a correct, we know that this is a correct factorization of this. All right, so go ahead and finish up example 2. All right, Journal page 31, factor sum and difference of cubes. Example 3, factor the polynomial identified as irreducible. If the polynomial is irreducible, enter NA. So this is a sum of cubes, so we know we're using the form from our notes. A plus B times A squared minus AB plus B squared. Okay, so we know that this is going to factor to be A plus B times A squared minus AB plus B squared. So at this point, we need to find out what A and what B are. Okay. Now, A is easy. We want to know what cubed gives us 1x cubed, and that's 1x. And I'll show you that now. So, looks like I accidentally closed out the Desmos calculator one tab. So let me reopen that. So go to scientific calculator. So let's make sure the 1x is right. So we do 1 cubed is 1. That works. So now let's try to find 21. So let's do 2 cubed. That's 8. 3 cubed is 27. So there's no 21 when you cube. Okay. So, all right. Sorry, I dropped my pencil. All right. So B, there's no B value that makes 21. Okay. So we know that this is irreducible. And you're going to enter NA. All right. So go ahead and finish up example 3. All right, now let's take a look at example 4. All right. Factor the polynomial, identify it as irreducible. If the polynomial is irreducible, enter NA. Okay, so now this is a difference of cubes. So we know we're using this. Okay. So that's A minus B times A squared plus AB plus B squared. Okay, so we need to find out what A and B are. Well, that one's easy. 1x cubed is 1x cubed. Now B, we need to find 216. So let's go back to our calculator. So let's go 4 cubed. Nope. 5 cubed. Nope. 6 cubed. Yep, is 216. So we know B is 6. So the factorization of this is 1x minus 6 times 1x squared plus 1x times 6 plus 6 squared. So that's 1x minus 6 times 1x squared plus 6x plus 36. Now, if this is a correct factorization of this, when we graph this and this, they'll overlap. So let's make sure that they do. Okay, so calculator, x out of this, x out of that. So x cubed minus 216. Okay, and then parentheses x minus 6, parentheses x squared plus 6x plus 36. You see that they overlap, So this is the correct factorization of this. All right. So go ahead and finish up example 4. All right. Now let's take a look at the next examples. Journal page 31, factor sum and difference of cubes. Example 5. Factor the polynomial or identify it as irreducible. If the polynomial is irreducible, enter NA. Okay, so this is looks like we have the sum of cubes. So we know we're using this right here. So that's going to be A plus B times A squared minus AB plus B squared. So we need to find A and B. Well, we already know A because that's 6x cubed is 6x cubed. Now we need to find B, 343. So let's go to Desmos. So let's try 7. 7 cubed is 343. So then we know B is 7. Okay, so now we plug these into here. So that's 6x plus 7 times 6x squared minus 6x times 7 plus 7 squared. All right, so then that's 6x plus 7. 6x squared is 36x squared. 6 times 7 is 42. So minus 42x plus 7 squared is 49. Okay. Now, if we factored this correctly, when we graph this and this, they'll overlap. So let's check that now. All right. So 216x cubed plus 343. Okay. And then parentheses 6x plus 7, parentheses 36x squared minus 42x plus 49. All right, you see that they overlap, so this is the correct factorization of this. All right, go ahead and finish up example 5. All right, example 6. Factor the polynomial identified as irreducible. If the polynomial is irreducible, enter NA. So this looks like a difference of cubes, so we're using this right here. So that's going to be A minus B times A squared plus AB plus B squared. Okay, so now we need to find A. Well, that's easy. That's 2x. And then B is 64. We can double check our calculator. See, 64 would be 4. So B is 4. So this is 2x minus 4, parentheses 2x squared plus 2x times 4 plus 4 squared. Okay, well that is 2x minus 4 times 4x squared plus 8x plus 16. And if we factor this correctly, we graph this and this, they'll overlap. So let's check. Do that now. All right, I don't think we need the calculator anymore. Delete these, delete this. So 8x cubed minus 64. Press enter. Okay, now parentheses 2x minus 4, parentheses 4x squared plus 8x plus 16. You see that they overlap. So this is the correct factorization of this. All right, go ahead and finish up example 6, and I believe that's the last example. So with that, have a wonderful Wildcat day.